What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at another film review. Today we're taking a look at another film. Today we're taking a look at another Margot Robbie movie. We had a look at quite a few of these in the past. I'm gonna be honest, I took a look at most of her movies that she's in, but this one came up on my Instagram, one that I forgot to watch when it first came out, and I don't know why I didn't watch it, but it's one that I wanted to watch that I just never got around to watching, and it is called Babylon. Babylon. I don't know what it's called, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how to actually say it. They never mention it in the movie, but the way I spell it is probably the way I'll say it, which is Babylon, and that's it. If it's wrong in the comments, I do apologize. Just let me know, and just tell me how to say it in the comments, because I'll be eternally grateful. But without any further delay, let's take a look at what Google has to say. So, Babylon is a 2022 movie, which is a comedy drama, and it's 3 hours and 9 minutes. It is incredibly fucking long. I don't know why it needed to be that long, but it is a 57% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 4.2 out of 5 on Amazon, and a 7.1 out of 10 on IMDb. You can watch this on Amazon Prime, Sky, I don't know what the third one is, or Google Play. Decadence, depravity, and outrageous excess led to the rise and fall of several ambitious dreamers in 1920s Hollywood as the industry begins the transition from silent pictures to the world of sounds. So, how this story actually starts off is with a dude trying to get an elephant to a party. He gets that elephant to a party after much struggle and someone getting shit on like a fuck ton. And Margot Robbie shows up at this party and lies her way in because she says she's a star when she actually isn't. And she says she's going to get into the world of movies and he's going to come with her. And they're like, sick, let's do it. Boogie woogie woogie, plan made. They then wake up the next morning and like, oh damn, we're in the movie business. We're in showbiz, baby. Let's go to the movies. However, they're in different roles. The main guy ends up just being a camera dude and someone who works backstage, where Margot Robbie is on the front and center. She is absolutely incredible at acting, can cry on command, and is brilliant in silent film, and works perfectly. She gets a load of different procedures, like a sort of face reconstruction to look prettier, and she rubs ice on her sensitive areas because that makes it look better. I don't fucking know. I wasn't paying attention to that part of the movie. And they continue to make movies. It was great. We then have another character, I forget his actor name, and I forget his in-movie name as well, but he's there, and he's brilliant, he's top quality, and he starts to move into sounds, and sort of filmmaking with sound, which feels absolutely bizarre to talk about now, but sure. Filming silent films was so fucking insane and intense and crazy and wild. It was such a massive contrast. It was such a big shift, total shift, when they started recording in the sound area, because everyone had to be quiet. Everyone was angry. Everyone was frustrated, pissed off that it was taking so long to work, and how sensitive the equipment was, and how nothing really went as they wanted it to, how everything went as planned. And there was a load of surprise actors, which I didn't expect to see. There is the dad from the Goldbergs in this movie, working as a businessman. There is the sort of guy in The Boys who also works as a director in The Boys, is in this movie as another director. He is typecast as fuck as a director, because I believe he's in another movie as a director. He's constantly just typecast as the angry, piss-off director. And anyway, they keep making movies, and then their careers go downhill with them not being as good as actors in these sort of, you know, talkie movies, these sound movies. So they sort of lose their fame, they lose all the attention that they had on them, they start to become hated, they lose all their money because they keep spending it on drugs, and they keep spending it on these wild parties, which they can no longer afford to do because they're not doing movies. And Guy decides to, you know, end on a high by making one final movie and then popping himself off in the bathroom. And then we have Margot Robbie's character sort of
agreeing to run away to Mexico with the guy that she was working with at the start because she gets involved with a drug company, a drug dealer, and ends up owing a lot of money and getting herself killed. And then the other guy runs off to Mexico, gets a wife and kid, comes back to Hollywood, goes into a movie theater and sees a movie about their life, laughs, cries, smiles, enjoys it, and just likes to reminisce on everything that has previously happened in his life. That is the story. I think it's a really nice story. I'm gonna be honest, I think it was a pretty cool story, and I don't know why everyone hated on it. I do agree that the pacing was pretty fucking awful, and there was a load of moments where shit kept happening on repeat and it was pissing me off. There was like one scene where they had to refilm the same scene over and over and over and over and over again. Fair enough, I got the point. I got the point that it wasn't easy. I got the point that it didn't need to happen. I got the point that it was hard to do and that they had to keep redoing it over and over and over again. But fuck me, did it piss me off having to watch it come over and over and over again. It was insane how often we revisited certain scenes and how we watched it over and over and over again. It got repetitive, it got boring, it got draining. This movie did have me kind of locked in. I was quite focused on this movie, I am going to be honest. To say it was a long one, I was quite locked in. I'm not, like, you know, I'm used to long movies. I've watched Lord of the Rings, I've watched Harry Potter, I've watched Star Wars, which are like 3-hour long movies. I've watched Avengers. They're all long movies, alright? I'm no stranger to a long movie. But I do feel like this movie did not need to be this long. There was plenty of moments which I felt could have been cut out to, you know, save time. There didn't need to be this many scenes. They didn't need to be this many sort of, you know, character interactions. Like, there was a lot of stuff going on in this movie that we could have skipped out on or shortened up or quickened up to still get us to the same outcome at the end and still have the same impact. It did give us plenty of time to get to know the characters though, and get to, you know, familiarize ourselves, get to care for them, get to see how they were acting, how their lives were, and see how they really was. And the glamorous life of actors is always fantasized about and always talked about being, they're always at parties, always doing drugs, always high, always off their fucking rocker. And this movie is another one that just plays into that influence, where they're constantly like high as shit, constantly doing like drugs and taking on animals, going for a swim and doing bets and gambling, and that's pretty much what they do throughout all this movie. Their character interactions are somewhat decent. I do feel like some of the characters don't share enough screen time or don't have much of a bond or a connection as they should do. I definitely feel like the love between Margot Robbie and her like husband by the end of the movie is definitely a little bit rushed and a little bit overlooked throughout most of the movie, because they don't talk throughout like the good second act. Like, the first act, they meet each other. Third act, they get together after working together on one movie. I don't know how you can get to know someone and get to like someone that quickly. It definitely felt very rushed and definitely came out of left field. And it was definitely one-sided. And that's why I feel like it came out of left field, because it had to be one-sided, because there's no way anyone could form a connection that quickly in terms of movie length anyway, or like movie times. And I'm gonna be honest, when she did get her face changed, I didn't really see what happened. I don't know why she got that face change or that sort of face design. She got like a touch-up on her face, and I didn't really see what changed. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't think anything did change other than her makeup. I think she just had better makeup on. I don't know why she had a face change like that. It is bizarre. It is very bizarre. And, everyone overhated on this. Even Margot Robbie, whatever you want to call her, I forget her name, but she did post online or say in an interview that she did think that it was a good movie and that people would like it more in a couple of years' time, and it just needs time to age or find a better audience. I don't know why people hated it either. It isn't like a top-notch film, like 10 out of 10. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it does seem to be overhated because it does have a similar sort of Rotten Tomatoes score as like Madam Web and Morbius, which are fucking terrible in their own right. So why it has a similar score to that, I don't know. I would personally, I tend to do my scale of 1 to 10, not 1 to 100. But I would personally give this movie a solid, like, 7 out of 10. Like, easily in the 70% range. So I would give it an extra 30% more than what Rotten Tomatoes did. Because it is still a good movie. And it definitely has good aspects. And it has a good message as well of how hard the movie industry actually is. And how everyone just thinks it's piss easy. And, you know, how quick we just overlook actors and like how fast people sort of move out of popularity and how like your 15 minutes of fame could just go by like that. Like it is absolutely really good at like a modern commentary on how like society works as a whole, and I quite like that. I took a lot away from this movie, and that's why I think 7 out of 10 is solid. There was a fuck ton of nudity, which wasn't needed in the parties, but it just added to the extravagant sort of Hollywood lifestyle. But it really wasn't needed. There wasn't that much sex needed in the opening part of the film. But other than that, let me know what else you want me to review, sort of talk about on the channel, like animes, TV shows, or movies, and I'll see you all in the next one. All right, bye bye.